I really want to touch on the point you mentioned earlier about reaching the point of charging premium prices and stepping into that, because I feel like in these like conscious spaces, spiritual communities, holistic facilitators, like money blocks is such a huge problem, and people have problems with even charging a decent amount for what they're worth. And these are people who like really work on themselves. They respect their time, they respect their energy, but then somehow when it comes to money, there's always this like disconnect. So I'm wondering if you have any like insights into why you feel like this occurs in these like spaces, and how you like for yourself, how you overcame any blockages you might have had to charge premium prices.
We can probably record a whole podcast episode just on this topic. I love talking about this. For me, money is very present in my life, and my relationship with money is also very special. When I grew up, I think before the age of 9, we had a lot. We had a lot of money. We were above average. We had a beautiful house, and then we moved, which obviously was not my choice. I was 9. We moved to a beautiful place where my dad built a spiritual center that he's had for 20 years now. And actually, this is the month that he's giving it back, and somebody else is going to take it over soon. And so I saw really from a very young age the struggles that spiritual people have with money. And that is also one of my biggest whys behind my business, because I saw the impact it had on my family. And I would say that my parents got divorced because of the lack of money. There might have been other issues, but money really emphasized the issues they had, because it really is this basic level of survival where if you cannot hire a cleaning lady, but you have a big farm that is a house that needs to be cleaned. And my mom was also the breadwinner at the time, and she's also somebody that really cares about a clean house, then there's going to be a lot of friction. And if you cannot do the same things as other people and you have to limit yourself in life, then you create a persona where you are less than other people, or you don't get to have what other people have. So you tell these stories about yourself. And I think a lot of spiritual people kind of settle for an average or even below average life by not allowing money to support them in their lives. And I think that's also the thing, like money is really energy, and energy gets to support you, because if you want to create something, you do that with energy. The more energy you have, the more space you can take up, the more of your mission you can share, the more impact you can make. And I kind of like this idea of, there are a lot of spiritual people that say, oh, wow, I manifested all of this without money. And they're really proud of that story. And for me, that is actually, I kind of compare it to when you have a football team and you have 11 players and you're putting them in the field and you're betting all your whatever on them, money or whatever you want to bet on them. You're like, this is my team, they're going to win. And then you tell them, actually, your best player cannot play. And that's kind of what you're telling the universe when you're manifesting, and you say, well, I want all of this. I want the house, I want the partner, I want the business, I want it all, but I want it without money. And then the universe is like, okay, I can deliver, but it's going to take a lot longer because you're taking my best player out of the field. And that's how I see money. It's really this. And also, like, a lot of people think money is something evil, but I just really don't agree. It's the human that decides what happens with the money. So even if you say, okay, let's remove money from the world, there's going to be something else that's going to be a substitute to exchange, because that's all what money is. And it's how we use the money that makes money good or bad.
Wow, yeah. I resonate with that a lot as well, because I feel like in these spaces is where I've experienced a lot of like shadows from people when it comes to money, especially. It's like they have this feeling of like, I'm going to pretend like it's not important, or just kind of feel like superior, as you said, just for not having money, and kind of create this persona of like, yeah, this is it's an evil thing. Or in some cases, I think it's people feel like the capitalistic society is actually the cause of a lot of problems, so they don't want to feed into it, and yet they enjoy like living in a capitalistic society and they enjoy the benefits of it. But then that's how they kind of feel like, okay, money might be an evil thing. So there's a lot of like disconnect with these thoughts. So I think in some cases, when it comes to actually building a business and starting a conscious business or a holistic healing business, a lot of people have these struggles of like, okay, how can I charge for my service? I think spiritual work should be for free. And it's interesting, we had Satya on the first podcast and we asked her this question. And I'll share what she said because it was so interesting, that she said in terms of people feeling like spiritual work should be free was kind of came through from like the church, and they kind of sort of made you feel this way. And she doesn't have a problem with charging for her work because she respects her time and energy and she knows what she brings to the table. And I feel that with you as well. It's like, it's about balancing it and respecting time and energy.